Hello fellow duelists, this is Shadow of the Moon and welcome to an updated deck profile of my pure Blackwing deck for July of 2025. This is the last deck profile in July. Cannot believe how fast this month has went, especially for me. And I wanted to showcase this deck to everybody. I originally was going to postpone this deck until the ban list, but we aren't getting a ban list until after the World Championships, which was posted on Konami's official website. So if you haven't had a chance, please go and look at that to actually get more details on that. I did just get done watching the European Championships, so congratulations to first place winner Lorenzo, and congratulations to the second place winner, the finalist, the runner-up Razel. I'm very proud of both of you for actually getting it. That is so cool. And on top of that, there's going to be two females representing the European continent and representing Europe in the World Championships. That's going to be in August. So that is so cool to actually see that, to see how diverse this game is. So, couple things real quick. I did take out the bystials only, and I put them in the side deck, which is going to be right here. I'm going to showcase that to you also as well. The reason I chose that is I'm noticing with the way the format is kind of changing. K9, Yummy, and with the way Vanquish Soul is and everything, bystials aren't as relevant and aren't as, much of an impact, because yeah, they are extenders for you, which can work really well, but if I had to, I would obviously replace those with a hand trap or something that might actually be more beneficial. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of be play testing it, and from there kind of figuring out some of what works and what doesn't, but right now this will be the deck for it. Obviously K9 is going to be focusing more and is going to be the main deck of the format, and is going to be focusing on going, second, and it's going to be the turn 0 deck that people are going to be using, so I'm hopefully that this deck actually can compete with it. Still waiting on the announcement. We did get the announcement for the Legendary Collection, which is 5Ds, and that is really, really cool. The Legendary decks are going to be 5Ds, so that is awesome. One of them is Crow. Way to go. I'm so glad we're going to be in a Crow deck. So hopefully that will actually have new support in it, because it did mention that Darkwing Blast was going to be kind of like the mainstay. That was what the cards were going to be released in it, and they're all probably going to be commons, and I really don't want to see that because they've been reprinted again. So I want to see more of like actual Blackwing cards. So without any further ado, with enough rambling, let's go on and get on to the deck profile. So I'm going to adjust the mat right here to make sure that it's not wobbly. There we go. Alright, so first, obviously, 3 Simoons. These are standard. You're going to run these for the deck. This helps facilitate your combos. You're going to be running 3 Sudris. These are another good 1-card starter. Just the board won't be as powerful with that. If you're just running these. Sudri is really good because it allows you to search for a card that mentions Blackwing Dragon, as well as if you have Black Whirlwind, so you get a double search on top of that. And then you've got triple Vada, standard. Everybody knows about the Vada, Pants Bird. Then you're going to be having 2 Shamals. This is really all you need, even in the pure build, is just the 2 Shamals. Because 2 Shamals, you don't need more, otherwise it's overloading the deck. And I'm still running 2 Chinooks, because Chinooks is a great hand trap in this format, because it's a hand trap if you control a Blackwing monster. Even if you don't, if this is in your hand going second, bam, you can activate it and stuff, and it's just a really good card overall. And then for the 1-ups, we've got 1 Zonda, which works for a 1-card combo. Also also has an effect that when it gets normal special summoned, you can bounce a face-up monster back from your opponent's hand, which works really well. 1 Zephyros the Elite, 1 Hammerton, 1 Sharnga, and 1 Orochi. And I am playing the Red Hot Abyss because I've been finding more success with it in this format, just for me. So yeah, I do know that you can use Dragoon if you want, you can use whatever you want, but I actually like using that for now. I'm still working on the extra deck. I have everything that I want, but I'm kind of trying to see where the direction of the format goes before I finally make my decision, because I have been playing on yugioh Pro, and I have been having more success with this version, but there are some things that I would like to have, and some things maybe I can change. So now we're going to move on to the spells and traps. 2 Black Whirlwinds, standard, 1 Black Feather Whirlwind. You only need these 3 in the deck. And then 1 Prod of Prosperity, 2 Small Worlds. And also, congratulations and shout out to Silent, Blackwing, and Canuck Gaming for going to the European Championships. It is unfortunate that Silent, Blackwing, and Canuck they didn't top. But I am still, confident that they still have a chance, and that you know, maybe they can show us more of what the decks are going for it if you're more into the Caliuga build. And I'm proud of them for representing Team Blackwing. You know, good job. Thank you for representing the Blackwing community as always. And it was just a privilege to be able to at least, you know, hear about like how your records went and everything. You know, always appreciate the you know, updates. And then we're going to be playing the Twin Shadow, which is my favorite trap in this deck, especially in this format. I actually see this being a little bit more powerful because of Silverwind, and I am contemplating on putting Silverwind in the deck, but for now I'm still using the Super Poly part of it. And then for the hand traps, a lot of hand traps going on, so you're going to be seeing this. So you got 3 Ash, you got 3 Molcharmy, 3 Droll, 3 Super Poly, and this is what replaced the Bystials, 3 Imperm. I don't have Dominus Impulse. I would love to get Dominus Impulse, but unfortunately these are going to be the placeholders for until I can. Dominus Impulse is like an $80 card, so can't really afford it. But Imperm is great because it does negate a monster's effect, and it is a hand trap, so it works. And then 1 Nibiru and 1 Call by the Grave. You could take out a Chinook and put this in here, or if you wanted to knock out a Roshi and not do the Red Hot Abyss, you could actually add a second one, but I wanted to make sure that I had a Roshi in here. And then Call by the Grave is really good for kind of stopping the Molcharmies, the Drolls, the Ashes, and whatnot. Alright, so that's going to be it for the main deck, guys. Let's move on to the extra deck. So the extra deck is going to just be 2 copies of Blackwing Assault Dragon and 2 copies of Blackwing Dragon. You don't need any more than that. If you want to have a 3rd copy, you could add a 3rd copy in there, but really that's not as necessary. And then 1 copy of Blackwing Full Armor Master, 1 copy of my boy Blackwing Armor Master. Will always run this guy in my deck no matter what. And then for the other Blackwings, you're going to be running 1 Notham and 1 Boreas Storm. Like I said, I am thinking about and contemplating Silverwind. I may eventually put Silverwind back in the deck if I like how it's performing, and I like how, you know, overall it works with K9 and Yummies and Vanquish Soul and whatnot. So yeah, I'm still thinking about that. And then for the non-Blackwing targets, you've got Disbatter, Chaos Angel, and Abyss. So you've got the staples. These are good. And then for the Super Poly targets, you're going to be running Garura and Mud Dragon of the Swamp. And then lastly, your SP Little Knight and your Wystrix to round it out. Wystrix is really good because a lot of people aren't expecting the if they negate Sudri and you have Hammerton, you can still go full combo. You can actually bring out Notham. Notham will then allow you to have it additional, even if you don't get it in the first time because they negate it. So for then the side deck is going to be 3 Artifact Lancia. I'm not playing Cast Hunter in the build because Malice isn't as strong. It's not as like more of like a prevalent force, so to speak, in the format right now because a lot with, especially with K9. Malice is probably going to be phased out. And then where we are running the 3 Bystials in here, I like having the Bystials. Like having the Bystials in here also because if I want to side out going second, this is another good option if you want to. And then 1 Nibiru for the monster in case I want to swap out for a second Nibiru to kind of stop my opponent. And then 3 Salesband because Salesband is really good. You call a hand trap, you call Detonator, you call Mitsurugi, you know, the main boss monster, and they can't do anything about it. 1 Triple Tactics Talent, 1 Call by the Grave, and 1 Blackbird Close if I want to swap out and use this because this is a really good card. This is a great side deck card. And then lastly, for the OTK, if I am going second, we're going to be having Ark Rebellion and Raider's Knight to be able to go second in case my opponent does try to stop my stuff. Alright, so that's going to be it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. This deck is a lot of fun. I love this deck to pieces and how strong it is. I love Blackwings. It is so great to actually see the Blackwing decks get represented. But unfortunately, the big problem is Blackwing, like pure Blackwing, Centaurians, other variants aren't going to be as strong as the Caliuga build because the Caliuga build has a lot more 1-card combos. But I just play for fun. I keep up with the deck because I am semi-competitive, but I play more for just, you know, having a great time, and I'm not as heavily focused on going to the locals or going to regionals or, you know, because I've got a family and I've got a life definitely outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! And, you know, family comes first, so you always got to make sure that you make sure that the family always goes first when it comes to that. So I would just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a great journey. I started 5 years ago with this channel. I've grown to 635 subscribers. I'm really hoping to get to 700. I do plan on doing videos of like shopping videos, card hunts, We are still doing the progression series with me and Dolphy with the Rare Hunters, Mr. and Mrs. Rare Hunter. I am going to be uploading the Metal Raiders booster box that we did open, and then after that, it may be a little bit for the Spell Roller because the boxes are cheaper than the English ones, but they're still somewhat expensive. They still have a price tag. It's like $40, and when you're on a fixed income, obviously, you know, family is going to take priority over that, so you're not going to be able to afford, you know, what you want for more leisure. But I mean, if I had a way to be able to make more money, definitely would go that route, because I could actually put that into this hobby, the channel. But you know, as it stands, everything that you see comes out of my own pocket. Like all of these QCRs that you see, and like the QCRs that I have and everything, that was paid with my own money, saving up and everything, because it was stuff that I really wanted. So, all right, so that's gonna be it for this deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I've rambled on long enough, and with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bam. Later.